Okay. So we'll try to see. So one more simple capstone project, like how to work with is, I said no yesterday, like we'll develop one simple, what do you call it, a charting application. So this is nothing but chart application, a simple charting application. Yeah, what is the doubt? Yeah, it is also insert because we are not checking any conditions, right? Huh. We are not checking any condition. Before inserting, you verify if his username is empty, password is empty. You have to check the conditions. But are you doing any validations? No, you are not doing any validations, right? You have to do validations. Okay, right? So we have not done any validations. We are just inserting it, that's all. Okay. Yeah, you have to do validations. You have to do validations. We are not doing any validations. Okay. Without validations, how you can do it? You have to do validations. We have not done any conditions, right? Is it password is entered or not? Is it password contains 6 characters, 8 characters? Have you done all that? No, no. Yes. You have to do it. Means we read the data and we insert it. We directly read the data and insert it. Before that, you check the condition. Is it that data is valid or not? Use the regular expressions and check the condition, right? Yes. Yes. So next is hmm, now a simple chart applications we are developing. So this is developed using some networking concept. Okay. And this application is a desktop application, means it is network enabled application. So where you install, so this will work within the organization where you install one server program in one system and client programs in other systems, and so client communicate with each other through server. Clients communicate with each other using a server, right? So that is what we are developing it. You can say it is like a messaging system. It is like a messaging system where you are sending messages. Okay, one client send a message to other, or one person can send a message to all the persons within the organization. Means you have a server and all the people connect to that server, and the people who connect to that server are called clients, and these clients communicate with each other by sending messages. Okay, so that is a messaging system. So in this you have a two programs, one is a server and a client. So you install server in one system and clients you can install in multiple systems. Okay. Okay, two programs will be there. One is a server and one more is a client. And this is TCP communication. And what server is doing is server responsibilities. First one is handling the clients. Okay, it handles multiple clients, not one client, multiple clients. And not only that, what it will do is it will broadcast. Okay, it will broadcast messages. Broadcasting means sending. Broadcast messages to all clients. all connected clients, all connected clients, and now this uses server uses TCP socket. It's a connection oriented TCP socket with multi-threading. So multi-threading means for every client, it create a separate thread. So for every client, it create one separate socket, and that socket runs in a separate thread. Okay, so it means multiple clients can communicate with each other. So that is multi-threading concept is there here. That means whenever client connect to the server, a server create a thread for that client. Whenever client connect to the server create a thread for that client. Okay, so that the client can run separately. Okay, so then after that client program is there. And what is this client program is? Hmm. The client is a GUI. This is a GUI application. You develop GUI application using Tkinter. Okay, so it allows, what it allows is, it allows to connect to server with username, and it will send now clients send and receive messages. Client send and receive messages sent by their clients, and all these messages you can see in one scrollable text. All the messages, okay, all the messages can be displayed in one scrollable text window, right? Which you call it as history, right? This is called as history. Okay, so this is what you are trying to do it. This is actually your project is. Okay, so it will work within the organization. Within the organization means, suppose this is a small organization where there is one system. This is one system. Okay, this is one system, not internet. It is intranet. And you have a number of systems in the organization, right? So all these are other systems which are exist here. Okay. Hmm. And all these systems are connected within the network. See here, all these are the systems which are connected within the network. So all these are there in network. Okay. So these are there in networking. Okay. Now, see all these are connected, interconnected. So these people want to communicate with each other. These people want to communicate with each other. So you develop one software. You are developing one software, and that software is able to communicate with each other, provide you facility to communicate with each other. Now, in one system, you install the server. This is your server program. Okay, so server program. This is a server program, and your server is multi-threaded. And in each system, they install client program. So install the client program. So all these are which programs here? Client programs. So all these are client. So client programs, all this. Now this client, this first client, suppose client one want to communicate with the client 4 or client 3 or client 4. Then how we communicate? Through server. Because if these people are connected to this server, so they can communicate with each other. they can able to send messages with each other. So that is done if they connected with the server, because your server is trying to act as a mediator here. So this client send a message to other clients through what your server. Okay, this is what exactly you're doing it. Okay, so one server will be there and multiple clients will be there. So you install the client program in multiple systems and you install the server program in one system. Okay, you install the multiple programs in line system and you install in server system. That is internet, but this is intranet. Okay, that is internet, but this is what here intranet. Intranet means within the organization. It is within the organization. Okay, so not required any internet. Okay, so here you don't require any internet here, right? Yes, very good. Yes, very good. Using APIs. Okay, using APIs, right? Okay, so let us develop this now. So let us develop this. So what I'm doing is first you have a two programs. I said one is a server program and one more is what client program. So first let us talk about developing of which program here server program. Now this is server program. So it is a connection oriented. Now you are trying to develop it using sockets. So socket is an endpoint communication between two programs, right? So import socket module and import threading module. So you're trying to import two here. One is a socket module and one more is a threading module, right? You try to import two things. Okay, you are trying to import two things here. One is socket module and one more is what? Threading module. So here I said there's a client. Sorry, this is server. So I'm developing a server here. Okay. So you are developing a server and you are binding that server on a specific port. Okay. So this is a host. What is a host on which you are binding is local host, and then give the port number. So I can give any port number. I'm giving 48s. Okay. So that is a port number. Then here I'm creating a list, that is a clients list, the list of clients connected to server. This is list of clients connected to server. Okay, this is nothing but list of clients, list of clients. Okay, connected to, so connected to server, list of clients connected to server is nothing but it maintains the sockets. In this you have what? Sockets. And next, you have to maintain the users details. Okay, you have to maintain the users details. For that, you are creating. Suppose this is for storing user details. Okay, storing user details. User details. For that, I'm creating one dictionary. That is a user names. User names is one dictionary. So what this contain is this contain the key and values. I mean, key is nothing but a socket, and value is nothing but what here? Username. You are storing the details. Okay. So here I'm writing a different functions here. So here I'm writing a function called So there is a function which is send a message to all the people or send a message and broadcast message. So this is nothing but broadcast. So what is the name of the function here? Broadcast. And what message it required to send and who's sending it. By default, if you don't give the sender will be a none. Okay. If you don't give the sender name, what is the default sender name will be none. Right. Okay. So this is what I've done here. So broadcast message sender is there. Okay, broadcasting is nothing but sending this message to all the clients. Sending this message to all the clients, but where the client details are in clients. Okay, see where is the client details are in clients. In clients, you find client details. Okay, right? It's nothing but client connections. So every time you read a client from clients, clients are nothing but connections of clients, client connections. Okay, so you should send this message to all the people except sender, right? Except to what your sender, you should send a message to all the people. Okay, you should send to all the people. So here you are giving a sender, right? Who's sending? That is a socket. You write like this: if client is not equal to sender, then what you do is you send a message to all the people. You send a message to all the people. Okay, you send a message to all the people by saying client dot. I think you know client is nothing but socket here. Send what you're sending a message. You're sending a message, but actually message will be in stringer and you have to encode it. So you should convert this string into bytes, and that is done by using encode, right? So this will send a message to all the people. Okay, now this is broadcast. Simple. This is simple function which will send a message to all the people, and then uh, so then whenever you connect to the server, okay, the server should connect. I mean maintain the details of whom client. So for that, we write another function to handle what here client. So there is a function called handle client, and there is a connection and address. There is a connection and address. Now, whenever client connects at the server side, you are displaying one message saying that this person is connected. Okay, so I just write here connected. So connected, and I want to display the address. So ADDR. So it will give you the address like uh, who's connected here address. So connection is a socket object and address is IP address of that system who's connected here. And then connection dot sender. Connection dot sender. You are asking like username. Okay, once connected, then you are asking for username. You are asking for what here? Username. Please enter username. So here I'm asking username. Okay, because it should connect with the username. So send connection dot send dot. Okay, now it's sending this username by encoding it. So because it should convert this data to okay, then I send it. Then after sending, the client will enter username, and the server should receive that username. So I'm writing here username equal to connection dot receive. So the method which is used for receive receive how many bytes it receives, like 1024 bytes. and it receive the bytes. 1024 bytes means it receive 1 KB data is a method. So receive the data and decode it. It receive the data and then what? Decode, right? So it's sending a message to the user. Now, if you know networking, it is okay. If you don't know networking, that is somewhat difficult, right? Networking concepts, that is networking socket module. We already learned socket module. Okay. So connection is nothing but socket, and this is which socket? Client socket, and it provide one method called send. It send a message to the user, and user will enter username, and that username you are receiving it. That username you are receiving it, and you maintain all these user details into one dictionary. You are saying user names of so this is particular connection equal to user name. Okay, user name. Okay, and after that, you are trying to display the message. Okay, yes, you are trying to display the message at the server side by saying print. Okay, print. Okay, this is user name, and I want to display this message. Okay, once it is done, I want to display this message to all the people who connected to the server. I want to send this message to all the people. Okay, it means this particular person is joined the charting, right? So what I'm doing is I'm saying message equal to some message here. I'm giving some message saying that this username joined joined the chart. Okay, now this message I want to send to all the people. Then I'm saying broadcast. Okay, so I'm writing here broadcast. What you are saying message? You are calling which function? Broadcast function by sending a message, and it will read all the clients. Clients means socket client connections, and to all the clients except the sender. To all the clients, it send this message. What is that message? This user is joined. So broadcast is our own message function. This is our own function. You can write anything. Broadcast means send to all. Broadcasting is nothing but sending to all. That is called as a broadcast. Broadcast. Sorry. So it is broadcast to all the people. Okay, right? Okay, broadcast to all the people. Send a message to all the people. Then it send a message to all the people. Then after that, this client, okay, this client receive means this handle client. What it will do is even it will receive the messages sent by the client. Okay. Now here user's name is a dictionary which contain the client connection and user name. It is having client connection as well as what? User name. Okay, it is having client connection and user name. That is a part of which one? Yes. It is having a client connection and user name. Okay, right? So then after that, here it is also handle. So it is not only do this, it will also receive the data from the clients. Connection is nothing but client here. What is the connection is here? Client. It also receive the data from client. Keep on receiving data from client and broadcast toward other people. Right? So keep on receiving means I need to put in infinite loop. So what will happen is it receive the data from client. So here client is nothing but connection dot receive, and at a time it receives some 1024 bytes. Okay, you can give any number of size. So if not, if not data means if there's no data here, then it should terminate. Okay, if not data, then you're saying break. Okay, You're saying break. Otherwise, you receive the message sent by the client saying data dot decode. Okay, data dot decode and send this message to all the people. Okay, by saying broadcast. So, what is the name of the method? Is broadcast. Broadcast. So, you are sending this message. What is the message? Is this is a message, and this message you are sending to all the people. Okay, you are sending this message to all the people. User name. If you want to know which user is send this message, then you can also give user name. Okay, user name and the message what is sending, right? User name and message. So yeah, message. This is a message which receives it. This message it received this username with the message. Along with that, sender is a no sender. Sender is nothing but connection. Who's sending it? Is a client connection, right? Okay, right. So this is how it is done. Yes. So this is while true. Now this is when it is done. This okay. So once it is done, suppose if it's not sending any data, it will come out of this like break. Break is there. Now it come out of the while loop. Okay, and after that, what you are trying to do is you are trying to uh, suppose if you are trying to disconnect it, then what you are saying is clients dot. So clients dot remove. So what you are removing is the connection. You are removing a connection from the client, and then you display one message saying that this client is disconnected from the server. So there is a message saying that yes, this user, this particular user is okay. This user name. So left from which one chart? Okay, left from chart, right? If it is disconnected or anything happen, right? So actually here you have to handle the error. Okay, otherwise you can just keep on. Uh, Otherwise I'll just write here. Now it is keep on running it. But once it disconnected, then I should remove that client from the server, right? So here handle client, what it is doing is it whenever client connect it, it will ask you to enter username and you enter username and that username and connection of that client is maintained in one dictionary and this broadcast message is sent to all the clients and then after that client send a message keep on sending messages. Then once the connection is disconnected you should handle exception actually. So connection dot receive 1024 bytes. If no data is available, break it. Otherwise, decode the message and send it to all the people. Who's sending? You are sending that socket connection here. Then after that, you have to start the server. Now you write one function to start the server. So there is a start server is a function. Okay, and this server. So here I'm printing a message. Server is this is what you learn in your regular class also. Server is running. Server is running and then server is running on this particular host. What is the host I've given at the top right? Format. So server is running on so this host and next one is what port number. Server is running on this host and port number and now you create a socket. So this is nothing but a server socket. So server socket you are creating it saying socket is a module and socket is a class. And after creating a server socket, you are saying server dot bind. So you're binding this and a host and a port number of the system. Okay. Then you are saying server dot listen so that it can accept the connections. And then you are saying keep on running the server while true, while true. And then server accept the connection of the client. So this returns one tuple. This returns one tuple. When it says server dot accept, this accept the connection of client. This accept the connection of client, and for every client you are creating one thread. For every client you are creating one thread, and you add this clients dot append. So you are maintaining the connections within the list. You are maintaining these connections within the list. Then after that, for every client you are creating one thread. So thread equal to threading dot. You are creating a thread. So thread, and what is the target? Target for this thread is handle client. So this is a callable object. So what is the name of this is handle client. So it means for every client it will create one thread, and here you are sending arguments. One is a connection and second one is a address. One is a connection and second one is address, and thread dot start. So it means every client run individually, right? So the clients run individually, and then I'm saying start a server. That's all. This is what exactly server program is. Okay, nothing. It will receive the message and send it to all the people. So broadcast is nothing but send it to all the people. Okay. So open the command prompt here, and you have to run the server, right? So run the server. Just see where exactly this program is. Open the folder where you save this program. Open the folder where you save this program. It is in E drive. Now you are saying Python. So server. Sorry. So Python server dot py. So just see it. One error is there here. We'll just check that error. Server dot bind host and port number. Port number string. So this is a port number. Yeah, now your server is running here. So here your server is what? Running on this local host. And this is what here? Port number. I close it. So just open the command prompt. And here you open the location where your project is there. So Python. Okay. So Python, and then give the server dot py. Now your server is running on this local host, and this is a port number on which your server is running. So it is waiting for whom? Client to connect and broadcast the message. It is waiting for client to connect and broadcast what message, right? Yeah, I'll share it, Abhishek. I'll share it. Okay, they are doing some editing work. Once they edit, I'll share it. Okay, okay, right? Yes. So now, next, what we have to do is we have to develop which program, client program. We have to develop a client program. Okay, okay, client program. We develop server program, right? Now client connect to the server, and they chat with each other. right? So this is a client program. So this is installed in one system and server is installed in one system. So client is installed in number of systems, but server is installed in one system. Okay. Now again you are saying import socket. Then it is multi-threaded. Then you are saying import threading, and then import Tkinter because you required a GUI, and here you required a scrollable text. Okay, and you required a scrollable text. So from Kinter you should import some other modules like TTK and message box. I want to display one message box and scrolled text. Okay, scrolled text. These are the things. Okay. Now what client is doing connecting to the server? Now what you required is server IP address from Kinter. TK enter, TK enter from TK enter. Okay, import TK enter, and this is from TK enter, import TTK. Yes. So then server IP address we should know it. So this is a server IP is what your local host, and server port number. What is the server port is 48. That is a server port number. Okay. Then after that we have to develop. We have to develop a GUI, and we to handle the events like when you click on, then you should send a message, you should receive the message. Everything you are displaying in what do you call it as uh, mm, in window. You are displaying everything within one window, right? Everything you are displaying within one window, right? So what I'm doing is here I build it by using a class. Now here I'm using a class. My class work like a window, inherit all the properties of window. Okay, right? So here we are implementing inheritance. Okay. Now what I'm doing is now this is a client program, right? So I'm writing here client. So this client is which one here window. See here TKM is window. It is inheriting all the properties of window. See this is inheritance. Client inherits window. TK represents what window. And here I'm writing a constructor, and this constructor calls a constructor of superclass to inherit all the properties of superclass. And then I try to give the title for this window. This is what I'm giving is client chart or chart client, anything. Okay, this is like chart client or anything you can give, that is a title. And after that you are saying self dot geometry. So you define the size here. Yeah. Inheritance. Here I am using inheritance. Here I am using inheritance. So TK is a class. This class is inherited by client. Here I am using inheritance. Okay. It means TK. Client is window. Client is which type here? Window type. Client is which type here? Window type. And just give the size of this window. Okay, right? This is the size of the window. Some size you can give, width and height. Okay. Then you define some properties like socket. You create a socket and default. some is it connected or not. So initially it is a false. Okay. And you are trying to create mutable string because you change the username. Self dot username equal to tk dot. See, you can create a string, mutable string, by using one class called string variable. This is called as a mutable string. Actually, string is immutable, right? If you want to create a mutable string, that is provided by tk module. And what is the name of that string variable? String variable means various, means changed. But a string str is a immutable. A string var is what? Mutable here. String var is what? Mutable. Okay, understood? Right. Then after that, whenever I create a client, automatically should build a UI. So it will call one method of the same class. It will call the method of same class called suppose some build UI. What is the name of this is? Build UI. So now this will build a UI. Now I'm writing one instance method, and what is the name of that instance method is build UI. So user interface for the client. See here. Now here you have to what you have to do. You have to create. What you do is, now this is window. Within this window, you are creating some frames. Okay, you want to create a frame, then you take the help of ttk, means a window is split into number of frames. Okay, so here what I'm doing is I'm creating one frame at the top. I'm writing some top equal to ttk dot. What is the name of this is frame. Frame I'm creating it. I'm creating a frame. I'm creating a frame. Okay, and sending a reference of current object. And what is the current object is window. So you are creating within window. See, always this is widget. Frame is a widget, and you create always within the root. And what is the root here? Window, right? So which one is window called here? Client. Client is a window. Within that window, what you are doing, you are creating one frame. You are creating a frame, right? Okay, right? And then after that, you are saying you are trying to put this pack. So pack. So you are saying fill, not both. I'm saying X, fill X, and then you are saying some space if you required. You define that by using some pad X given in pixels, and some pad Y is given in some pixels. So that is X. Not X means horizontally, both means vertically, horizontally. Y means only vertically, but X means here what? Horizontally, right? And within this frame I want to create a label. Within the frame I want to create what? Label. Okay, within the frame I want to create a label. See here, ttk dot, so I'm saying label. So where you are creating a label within the frame, and text. So what is the text I'm trying to input is username. Text is a username. So here I created label, and after creating a label I'm saying pack, means this label you are trying to display side equal to what here? Left. Then beside that, ttk dot entry, and you are creating this also within the frame. And what is the text is, now this is entry field, right? So entry field means you don't require text here. Now but whatever you enter in this entry field, I want to put inside one variable. And what is a variable we created? So what is a variable we created is username, right? But how you define that text variable is you have one attribute called text variable equal to username self dot username. Okay, it means whatever data you input inside entry field, it is stored in what username variable. It is stored in which variable? Username variable. Then I'm writing here width is 20 dot pack. So where you are displaying this label, okay, entry field, pack side is left only. Okay, I'm writing a side is left only, but outside I want to give some space, some 10 pixels or anything, 5 pixels I'm given. Okay, so this is the entry field. Then after that you are saying ttk dot some button you are creating at the top. Inside the top is frame here, and this frame is put within the window. Okay, and what is the text is, okay, connect. What is the text is connect. Okay, so once you click on this, you should call one method, and this method is there within the same window. So that method will write it. We have not developed that method, right? Okay, so then dot, again I'm writing a pack, and this is also side equal to left, and I give some space. Okay, right? So, but once you click on this button, you should call one method. Once I click on this button, you should call one method, and that method take all this data and send it, right? So then after that, so whenever client, I mean other people send a message, that message has to be displayed, right? That message has to be displayed. Then you required one scrollable text. So you are saying ttk dot. Okay, you required one scrollable text. Okay, so scrollable text you required, and that I want to display at the bottom. I required a scrollable text, and that I want to display at the bottom. What will I do is, so we required a scrollable text, right? So we'll create self dot. So this you can call it as a chart box. Self dot chart box. What is the name of the module? Scrolled text. Sorry, scrolled text. I'm creating scrolled text dot, and what is the name of the widget is scrolled text only. Okay, scrolled text. Now scrollable text. Okay, scrolled text, and this is displayed in self. So self is nothing but which object here? Client. That is a root. Okay. Then you should not allow to enter here. Now here I'm saying state equal to disabled, and it should display multiple lines. Multiple lines. Then you are saying wrap, word wrap, word wrap. Word wrap means it will try to move to the next line once it is filled or reach to the end. Then once it is done, you have to display this, right? Self dot chart box. So where you want to display it? Self dot chart box dot pack. So where you want to display this? I want to display this at the uh, what do you call it as, in another frame. So here I'm creating another frame. So that is bottom ttk dot. I'm again creating a frame. So within the client. Then so this is bottom. Okay, bottom dot pack. So I want to display this. Okay, so fill now only horizontally, and you just give the space. Okay, so some 10 pixels. And then after that, so after that, yes, yeah, you have to understand this. Now here I created chart box, and then I created one frame at the bottom, and you have to display this chart box. We have not displayed this chart box. Now here we have to display the chart box. Where you want to display this chart box, you have to define that. So self dot chart box dot pack. Okay, then you are saying fill. So fill both. So fill both, and expand is a true. Expand is a true, and then you are saying expand is a true, right? You are expanding it, and if you want to give the space, you can give the space, but this is not compulsory, right? So this is done, and even we displayed one frame at the bottom, and in this you have to display the message sent by the client. The message sent by the client, or the message sent by the client, that message you are displaying within the frame. So you need to read the message. Okay, now you are saying self dot. Okay, self dot, this is a message variable, and this is mutable variable, tk dot string variable. So this is a message variable, and what you are trying to do is you are trying to say ttk dot some entry which is there at the bottom. So bottom is a frame where you are trying to display this entry field, and text variable, because you are sending and you are also receiving it, right? So text, you are trying to define the text variable, and text variable equal to self dot message variable. So whatever you type, you'll get here. So then width, so width is given some 40 or more, you can say. So and then you have to display this pack, and you are trying to display this at the left side. At the left side you are displaying it, and you are trying to define some space. You can give the space like this. So because there we have given 5 only, right? Then ttk dot, see there are two frames are there. One is connecting and one more is what, sending. Okay, top frame is connecting, and bottom frame is what, sending a message. Bottom frame is sending a message, and text is what here, send. Now this is send message. You type a message and send it. Okay, send, and here you have to define the command, but command is not done it. So pack, and you are saying, okay, you are sending a message. Okay, side is, okay, side is left. Okay, I'm writing here side is left. Okay, right? Yes. So now we have to write two methods. One is connecting and one more is sending a message. Okay, because when you click on this by giving username, and if you click on connect, then it should connect to the server, and after connecting to the server you have to send the message. So two methods we have to write it. So one method is what do you call it, as connect to the server. So connect to, see here, connect to server, this is one method. And connecting to the server is nothing but you have to create one socket, and then you have to connect it. Okay, you have to create one socket, and then you have to connect it by giving what do you call it, as user name. Okay, yes. So what we have to do is you have to create one socket and then connect. So how you are connecting it, by saying self dot, sorry, self dot some socket equal to socket dot. Here I'm not checking it whether it's connected or not. Okay, I created socket and then self dot socket dot. What you're saying is connect. So connect with two things. One is uh, so connect with two things, that is server IP and server port. Now here I'm giving server IP address and then server, what is that here? Host. So using this you connect it to the server and once it is connected you'll say self dot connected equal to true. So here if you want you can check the condition if self dot, okay, you can check the connection. Okay. If self dot connected, then what you can do is you can just terminate it by giving return. Otherwise you can yes. Now connected to the server and connected equal to true. Then what you are doing is you are trying to send and receive the messages. Okay, now it start sending and receiving messages. You send it and immediately it receive what your message. Now this will be running simultaneously. This will be running simultaneously connected. So what is our instance variable is connected only. Yeah, you are sending and receiving the message simultaneously. So you create one thread. So threading dot thread, and here you have to say target. Now this target we have not written. This target we have not written because we have to send and receive the message. Okay, so it is a target for this is okay. Okay, right? Yes. So this is what we have to do it. So once it is connected, but here we have to write so two things, one is sending message and one more is receiving message. When you click on this, now this button is over. Which button is over? This button is over. This button is what here connected to what is that? Server. Now this button we have to write. So two buttons we have to write. So this button we have to write send message. Okay, we have to write one more function called send message. Okay, send message. Now it is an instance method. We have to read from this text. This is a text variable. Okay, so from this variable we have to read the message and then we have to send it. Okay, so what is the name of the function is send message. So we have to read the message self dot. Here we created one variable, message variable, and there is one more variable we created here. So what is the name of this variable is message variable. Text variable is message variable. So one more variable is message variable. Yeah, we have to read the data from this message variable. How can you read the data from message variable is get method. Using this get method you read the message. Okay, so if message is there, if message and if connected, if message and if it is connected, then immediately you try to, if message is there, and if you are connected, then you have to send that message. Okay, self dot socket dot send. You are sending a message by encoding it. You are sending a message by encoding it. You read a message, store this message here. So you are encoding it because in networking, always the data is sent in the form of bytes. In networking, always the data is sent in the form of bytes. Okay, always in networking, data is sent in the form of bytes. Okay, so here I've given like this. Okay, so message is sent in converting into bytes. Okay, that's all. And uh, after sending a message, what you can do is self dot message dot self dot message dot, you can use set. Now you make it as this empty after sending a message. Then next, yeah, here we have to write what is the name of the function. If I click on here, I should call the function called send message. I should call one function called send message. And here I'm writing one more method called receive message. So this is again instance method, and this method will be running separately because multi-threaded, right? So receive message, and it receive the message from the socket. Then you are saying message, what you are saying, self dot socket dot receive socket sock dot receive. It receive this many number of bytes, and then it will decode this. It will receive the message. Okay. Right. Okay, right. Now you are trying to receive the message, and this message you are trying to display it. This message you are trying to display it in one method is there. What is the name of the method is display message build UI. Yeah, we have to display this message. Okay. So where you have to display this message in, you have to display this message in chat box, right? So after receiving this message has to be displayed within the chat box, right? You have to insert this within the chat box. Okay. So receive the message. So it will keep on receiving the message, but it should receive the message along with the username. So it will keep on receiving the messages. Okay, because the client keep on running it, right? So you can put this inside a loop. So this you can put inside a loop and keep on receiving the message. Okay. Now you are asking for the user name, like for which user you are sending a message. You get that message details and put that message details into chat box. You put that message details into what? Chat box, and you keep on receiving these messages. See, what I'm doing is I'm just writing a self dot. This is a chat box, right? Now here only I'm displaying it. Okay, chat box dot. Actually, chat box is visible, but you have to enable this. And how you enable is you configure any what do you call it as widget by using config. And here you are saying state is what here normal, and then you are trying to insert self dot chat box dot insert, and where you are inserting at the end So what you are inserting at the end, some message. Okay, at the end you are inserting a message, and next line backslash n means new line because it is multi-line. Okay, it is multi-line. Then after that you have to disable it. So self dot chartbox, self dot chartbox dot config, and I said state equal to disable. So after inserting, you are making it as disabled by using state is disabled, right? Okay, right? So then self dot, so this is chartbox dot. Okay, you are trying to display this at the end. So you are trying to use this is to make it as a scrollable by saying end. So that is nothing but for auto scrolling. For that you are using C equal to end. But here it will show you only one message because I need to put this inside a loop. But here I am not put inside a loop. Okay. So here in thread, we created thread here, right? So for this thread, what is the target is receive message. So we should call the function. Now self dot receive underscore message, and this send message is an instance method. Self dot send message, and connect to server is also instance method. So self dot connect to server. Then you create object of this some client c equal to client, c equal to what here client. Okay, so that's all. You can say c dot main loop. It will keep on running this. Okay, now this is a client program, and you open one more command window, and here I think we linked everything. Suppose we'll just check any errors are there. But for understanding this, you should know networking knowledge. In networking, I think in regular classes, we have seen like what is a socket, how to develop a server socket, how to develop a client socket, like that. Now this is a server and this is a client dot py. No file. What is the program name? Client dot py. Not here. So this is an E drive. So Python client dot py. So button smaller. We have taken small. So ttk dot. So this should be capital here. So here we created button. So this is a server and this is a client. So one more error is there. Unknown option command. Sorry, where is this? COMM command. Correct. Now again run this. Right. So you need to connect with the username. Now this is a server. This is a client. So this is a server, and this is what here client. So this is a server. I cannot run two here. So server is running. You give the user name, some NIT. Then I'll say connect. So it's given error here. What is that? Server host is not defined. Server port. What I've given? Server host, server IP, server port. Sorry. Server IP and server port, not host here. Okay, right? So we should run the program again. So stop this program and we should run this again. Okay. Now just run this program. Client, then connect here. Yes. So here you can see connected. This is IP address and so this is still disabled. Connected. Some mistake we did. So here we connected. After connecting to the server, now here we created one frame and here you have an entry field. Okay. Then here you have a button at the bottom. Correct only. But this is not displayed, right? So no problem. Now see, we have not handled any error. Just see here. So once it is connected, this is not showing here. The bottom. Yeah, sorry. So at the bottom, now it is connected, right? Now here you are sending a message, but here only one client is there. I say hello. So message variable. What is message variable? Only no underscore is there. What is the name of the message variable? But here why I've taken underscore? So this is message variable and where I read the message. Okay. So run the client. See here, I have only one client. But if you have a multiple clients, this message username NIT. So connect, then send a message, something like hello. So send here. So self dot connected, connected, connected. Some spelling mistake. What is the name of the variable? Self dot connected. So some spelling mistakes are there. You have to rectify this. So what I'm doing is self is missing. Oh, self dot connected. Okay, now we should stop again. So run the code. So input some username and connect. But actually this message is sent to all other people. Okay. But I said send object has no attribute MESG. Self dot message dot set. Self dot message message variable. Okay, right? So run the code. Some simple mistakes here. Okay, now username is given. And here I said hello. So send a message. So you see that the server side, no problem. But this message is sent to all the people. All the people means now we require another client. So we required another client to program or not? Yes. So we required another client to program. So you have to run this program in multiple systems. You have to run this program in multiple systems so that so one user can communicate with what another user, right? Multiple systems you have to run this. But here we run this in one system only, right? But this client to program you have to install in multiple systems so that one person can send a message to another. Okay, right? Yes. 25 plus users are there. No problem. Here also you can put number of users. But whatever users you put, all those users will be maintained in one list. Okay. Whatever users you put, all those users will be put in one list. Okay. Yes. Okay, right? So here we are not storing any user data. It's just sending a broadcast message. That's all. Okay. So you need to have another client who will, yes. But here we are not storing any data here. Okay. So this is one more simple application. You can just see this. Yeah, SQLite is for storing messages, but you are storing in database might be, but here we are not storing in any database. Okay. So if you want, you can extend it further for storing in database. Okay. You took how many days? 20 days, huh? Okay. So yeah, that is difference, right? Okay. So this is simple. Maybe you added more features, might be. Yeah, yeah. That is what I'm saying. No, here we just send a message, but we are not maintaining anything, right? Yes. So that's all. Now this is one more simple capstone project, but for understanding this, you should have a knowledge of networking. If you don't have any networking knowledge, then it is somewhat difficult to understand this coding, right? So compulsory you have to have, yeah, yeah, you must have knowledge of networking. If networking is not there, then everything will bounce back. Okay, I say no. Compulsory you should know what is socket and all the things. Then you can understand easily. Otherwise, difficult. Okay. Yes. But anyway, this code I'll be uploading in my Telegram. Okay. But in the next workshop, we'll try to build like a web using Django and REST API. We'll try to develop some capstone projects using Django and Web API, I mean REST API, or we'll try to develop some capstone projects using NumPy and other things. This is working. This is working because you required another client. This is working. You required another client. Okay. So only client, one server, right? So you required another client to open and run it. So you open one more command window and run it. Okay. So you have a multiple clients and server, right? Because only one client, right? Self-sending messages is not there. No, self-sending we checked already, right? Condition. Somebody you when you send a message, it's sent to other people. Okay, right? Yes. Yeah, you have to open multiple clients. Okay, right? That's all. What class? So this is a last class here. So we'll see again. We'll plan for another workshop where we'll see others. Own system. You should send multiple clients. You run a multiple clients you have run. Ashish. Yeah, you'll get videos for these classes. Okay. Multiple clients. Yeah, this is the last class. This today is the last class. 5 days, no? I said it is 5 days. Okay. 4 days or 5 days. Yes, Monday to Friday. Yes. So first you run the server. How to connect Tkinter with web-based means APIs. API. You have to develop REST API. Okay, API. Standalone web. How you communicate by using APIs. Okay, that is where API come into the picture. Ajit, understood? That is where API come into the picture. Okay. Okay, right. Thank you. So we'll see in the next workshop. No, no exam. No exam. No exam. No exam. You can collect certificate directly. Okay. Next workshop we'll plan it. We'll plan and I'll put in my Telegram. Django classes. It might take some time. Okay, it might take some time. Let us inform. Right? No, not for this. He's asking for something else. Okay, right? Next workshop I'll inform. I'll in the chat. I'll inform in my Telegram. Next workshop I'll inform in my Telegram. Okay, right? Okay, I just give this code. Any changes you can do it with some knowledge, right? Yeah, we'll plan for another library. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, everything is open source only, right? Everything is open source only, right? Okay. Right. Yeah. So we'll see in the next workshop. Thank you. Right. Thank you.